What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Massive Damage Podcast, where me, your host, Gaiex, and Mr. Rakychu talk about a game called Gigantic. But this week, we had something going on. A rather obscure Chinese company called Perfect World Entertainment brought out a copy of this game that we used to love so bad.
Oh, no.
And this week we're gonna spend on talking about what that copy is doing to ruin the image of the game.
Gotta change it up. Let's see what they've done better than
Yeah.
the good old Motian version.
Absolutely. So, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm
Mr.
doing
Rakychu?
alright. Bit tired. Ridiculously fucking hot over here. Like
Yes.
sweating so much.
Yeah. It's the same here. It's like one of the hottest days of the year so far. So it was getting pretty uncomfortable halfway through the day, but I guess we got through it. We survived. We're still here to deliver the show. Good morning, Noah. Good morning. But I believe we should get right into it. We'll start with like the smaller topics as we get closer to the end, into the middle of the show. We'll touch on the bigger shit shows that can be outlined, so to say. So first things first.
Fucking hell!
Oh yeah,
Fucking attack! Fucking hell!
Rakychu gets assaulted. So first up, Ark is back. What do you think of that, Raky? What do you think?
It's a good change. I'm glad to be on. Well, okay, I say I'm glad to be on Ark. Hoping that the party system was better, and then we find that we run into an error the first time we try and party.
Mm-hmm.
That was that didn't really bode well. But
Yeah. So basically, the first thing that happened is that we got exposed for the cheaters that we are.
no, that wasn't the first thing that
Oh.
happened. No,
No,
we had to
neither.
close the client and then join as a party. Remember?
That was
Before the bot game.
Oh yeah, that was awkward. I still had to do that all through the fucking thing. I've not thought of a solution yet. I've not found a solution yet to that. So I just joined party straight from like my desktop without even the game
Yeah.
booting up. So it's kind of painful, but outside I do have the idea that the game is somewhat running better. Maybe that's just fucking me like being delusional about Ark, but I have somewhere I have an idea that the game is somewhat doing better.
Yeah,
at
it
least.
like the client definitely feels better, more responsive, loads quicker. I'm being attacked by a fly again. But yeah, it's just I don't know what happened with that anti-cheat stuff at the beginning.
Yeah, I believe they just had it tuned to like everything. So basically, if you had Chrome open, it was just fucking Chrome makes you a hacker, dude.
Yeah, I got accused 4 times in the first
Yeah.
hour or something. It's just like, okay.
That was quite unfortunate, but eventually it got fixed rather quick. I believe the Motika team were on that and like the Arc support shit, so that was real good. It only took an hour and a couple of logs sent to Mr. Evangelos, and then shit was fixed. So that's good. That's all and well. So let's get into the meat of like the update, because we got a really big update with the relaunch of Arc, or with this
Yes.
trial. Most of it was pretty awful. Some was and there was a little bit of good shit in there, which is the tutorial. Kudos to that. I think the tutorial did a really great job of teaching players what the game was, and like every single step and phase. So I really enjoyed that. Seeing that, and that was a good change.
It's nice.
So far.
It's nice to have a tutorial now that actually goes through each part of the phase of a battle and actually teaches you how it works and stuff now.
Yeah.
That's really nice. And then it's complemented with a bot game as well.
Tutorial sure was nice with this. Absolutely, I love the white and blue like look of the game. It was absolutely great. Definitely much better than Gigantic. But that was great. Oh, and that like getting stuck in Arc screens, I had that too. So eventually, even though I goofed I fucked up myself first because I forgot that I changed my hotkey for the arc overlay. I still get stuck in that. So it still happens. So that's definitely a bug, which is very annoying because I really have to like fucking Alt F4 out of the game for that to fix itself. So super annoying. But yeah, and bot games, like we saw a little bit of the bots in the tutorial, of course, and then had to play like one bot game, which I think is fine. Like a couple of bot games to get access to player PvP games. Of course, like these bots are super fucking retarded.
Oh yeah.
The first iteration of the artificial intelligence. Not that I expected any differently or should expect any differently. It's functional, but it's really tedious to go through that to get your account to level 2 or something, so we can play PvP matches.
Pretty much. I think there is some concern of the you need 5 players versus 5 bots, with the fact that because of the state of the bots, it's not really something you'd go back to play, unless you're really trolling or you're really high or drunk. So I feel like when the population dies down a bit of that, if it's not changed so that bots can be on your team, there could be long queue times just to get your first bot game, which could be a huge issue.
Yep, that's especially because you're forced to do it. But that's kind of a thing that they probably can turn on and off. Rather.
Yeah, I would assume so.
I'm not sure how easy it is to get that going, but I'd assume that it's something that you can turn off rather quickly if needed, with the state of the player base.
Yeah.
So yeah, bot games, of course, like it's all right. It's doing its job, like introducing people to like the gameplay without throwing them against other players like immediately. So I guess that's the goal. Like the bots don't have to be super challenging to do that, but they could use some work to make them more interesting and actually make them play points instead of just running it down middle on Canyon, which is basically what they're doing.
Yeah, it gives people the option who don't really feel confident playing PvP just to fuck about. But no, I just use it to kill creatures.
Yeah.
It's not like the bots react or anything.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, you can just fight creatures and like still get crowns for it. Just fight creatures like it's like a Rodway used to play.
Oh god.
Yeah, it's you can get the full Rodway experience in bot games now. Just fight fucking creatures all day. So that's good. But yeah, another thing that got added is voice chat, and we all love this because Rek is already sighing and shaking his head. So voice chat without push to talk, which is activated by default, which is on by default.
Why? Why bother yes, cool. It's awesome that we have some sort of communication method that we've been crying out, but don't put in an incomplete system. It's just like the number of people, like in stories I've heard of people who don't even know that it's even on, and you just hear everything. It's just like, no, I don't want that. It should push to talk should be implemented with it. Like it should be push to talk by default to stop those instances. And why has no one even mentioned text chat? Like surely text chat before we have voice chat. Like, okay, I understand Xbox players, but still, like, I honestly prefer, there's a lot of people out there, especially with the PC player base, who can't be fucked with fucking voice chat. Like, I'm one of those. I'd rather listen to music or use Discord and TeamSpeak for voice chat. I'll just text chat and I disable voice chat. But I heard no one through the voice chat system because I had it off the whole weekend.
Yeah, I turned it off instantly as well because I knew that it was going to be like this half-assed implementation. But I'm not using it until push to talk gets in because I don't want to hold mic. I don't want to fucking broadcast everything to everyone because I'm already doing that while streaming most likely. So my game people don't need to listen to me talking to my viewers and shit. So that's that's gonna be awkward.
Am I also right that you can't like with like it's not even got like ways to kind of mute background noise at all. Like you can't make how sensitive your microphone is. It's just on.
Oh yeah.
Which it's like I like it's fucking hot here. I have an air conditioner that makes a fucking ton of noise. Like I can run voice activation on TeamSpeak because I've set the sensitivity. If I have my air conditioner running and I'm playing Gigantic and I was to leave it on, all you'd probably hear is a of my fucking air conditioner in the background.
Yeah.
With the occasional fuck from me messing up.
Absolutely, but yeah, almost brings up a point. Like I think that's the feeling a lot of people have, is that this game is like, after months of polish and time, is taking steps back in terms of like how it feels and what the flow of the game is and shit. So
I feel they could have achieved the excitement of the like actual communication stuff by just having a video of the Motigans using the system in Gigantic.
Yeah.
Like, I felt that could have achieved very similar.
Like, they should do a proper feature video of it, like a proper marketing video. Like, hey, shit, we have fucking voice chat now. Let's finally communicate with your teammates and tell them what the fuck to do.
Once you finish the tutorial, have a pop-up. Do you want to use voice chat? And in brackets, note, your microphone is on all the time. That isn't push to talk currently in development.
Yeah.
With a yes or a no. So that it turns it off when people don't want it because it's not got push to talk. At least people then are aware that that system is there.
Yeah, because no one knew right now. It's like
the only people who knew are the people who go on Reddit or like are on the Discords.
Yeah, I kind of want to tie it into that because we didn't get full patch notes. Tie that into the fact that the announcement of the stress test with the new update was only like 24 hours ish out of the start of the test, which is very weird.
It's not great to announce that you're stress testing a server when you only give 24 hours notice. Like, you need at least a week to notice people about that.
Yeah. So that's definitely a weird decision that's probably gonna come down to either some planning issues or some unexpected things coming up. But definitely weird and annoying that we didn't get full patch notes for this. So we did get like a couple of highlights placed on Reddit by the community manager, but which is what we're using as a reference now. But it's not really enough to fully get a grasp of what changes.
Like, I understand that it's kind of seen as an ARC preview, which is also previewing the patch. But I streamed for about 2.5 hours yesterday. I heard about 3 people coming, going, why can't I get this update? And they were playing on the Windows 10 version. It feels like it's not been fully communicated to the Windows 10 users and the Xbox users.
Yeah.
It also feels very gutting for people who play on Xbox One. Like, as much as I don't know many people who play on the Xbox One, but I still have that feeling in the back of my head going, what about them? Oh, they get all the heroes unlocked for the weekend.
Yeah.
Okay. What if I have them? What if I have the Founders Pack?
Yeah. Yeah, we're stuck on an old patch, and like everyone on PC moved to Arc to test this out.
Arc queue times, especially in the EU, has gone up even more.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck happened? So yeah, feel bad for Xbox players. Improper communication. Should definitely try and not do this next time, Motiga. Like, improve on that as well. But yeah, the fucking no text chat, very annoying. Like, I back in the day, I made a video like a long time ago with the things Gigantic still needs, which was I can check the date on that for a second, because I kind of want to know how much time has gone by without any of that being implemented.
What? No chat. Like,
yeah, like chat and other stuff.
Autumn, like September 2015.
Yeah,
there wasn't text chat.
Not even chat specifically, but like other things as well. So that was the 5th of December. So that's like more than half a year has gone by without like proper custom games, proper like text chat, voice chat in like a barely manageable state, I guess. And some other stuff that just has not been implemented yet. So in terms of progress on like features, which is what I thought was one of the biggest like things that was holding back the game, in terms of features, the game is still severely lacking after months of silence again, basically.
I'm just praying that this preview isn't going to lead to another Motiga silence. I'm praying they keep fucking talking. They want to release soon, like from what they've been saying on Arc and shit. But if they just go quiet, I don't think I'm coming back. Like,
and even if they're planning to release soon, where's the announcement of the release date? Where's dates? Where are concrete examples of what's going to happen in the near future? Because that's like, the stuff
I'm literally waiting. Like, it's gonna be like next week, like on Friday, we'll all be sitting around in Discords chatting, playing MXM because it's out, or playing other games, etc. And we'll just be casually waiting, and then we'll just get this pop-up or this tweet that comes out going, "Oh, by the way, Arc is open now and the game has been released." That's what I'm waiting for at this point.
That would not be a surprise, but I think like those dates, like how often do you see people go on Reddit? Like, I'm not sure why people do this, but a lot of people are like, "Hey, this is not a released product, so I'm not gonna touch it yet." So that release date's actually really important for a lot of people. When they're like, "Hey, shit, the game releases then I can start playing." But when that frame of reference is not there, like people can't get hyped for it because it's like, when can I start playing? Like, there's no build up to that. So that's really, yeah.
Like, take this podcast for example. Like, we were running like a weekly show, and then we just had nothing left because we had no idea what was going on and like info, so we had to stop. Like, I even mentioned to Gaiex earlier in the week. I have a slight concern that running this episode is just going to lead to us going silent again for like a month. Like,
and honestly, I'm not totally excluding that possibility because I can't be.
Like,
it's like. It's been really awkward because the Twig post, like the This Week in Gigantic post that we had until this point, were really content light. It were basically just PR talk about what they were doing, and there were actually not that many interesting. Yeah, they repeated themselves a lot. They were not that interesting to talk about, and we didn't really have anything to add to that because we had no information whatsoever. Then comes the fact that me and Rakychu are privy to more information than most people, and that we don't want to confuse the public detail, the information the public has with the information that we have, and accidentally leak shit, because that's a real thing.
That's a huge threat. Like,
yeah,
I purposely haven't looked at what's happening like in our secret area. Like, I just don't want that risk no more. Yeah, it's not like anything's happening there anyway. Oh, fuck off. This fucking fly, I swear, at some point during this podcast, you're going to see me punch the wall, and it's going to be killing a fly.
Guys, I hope we get to that point. But, so, side rant over right now. Let's get to the main topic of the video that I uploaded yesterday. Which is instant summoning, and a lot of videos have sprouted up. We just saw NFT Strafe like upload another video on the same topic with like some more input on that, and I believe Baz uploaded a video as well with some stuff. Everyone and their mother is uploading video.
Anyone
about
who
fucking
uploads videos has mentioned or done a video on creature summoning.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
it just shows how important this change is. Like,
yeah, like it's in everyone's interest to discuss it, because I believe we're at kind of a turning point of what the game is going to be and what the game is going to look like in the future. As while I may have been slightly dramatic in my video, which is like kind of the deal when you're making like a short video, I wanted to make a strong statement that people can respond to. So let me take the time and nuance that view a little bit. So I basically told that instant summoning is bad, period. While I don't necessarily agree with that, like a lot of people have brought up the I've brought up the baby creatures, like make the babies instant and the adults summon or upgrade. So I don't necessarily agree with that. I think it's still not doing like the system justice, because the vision I had for that is when people rush to like D or like the side points in Sanctum, like whatever the fuck they're called now, because they changed that around again. We'll get to that later. But whenever people like rush to like a side point, you can just summon that and like get super mobile heroes like Wu or something, or like Taido, like really fast to go there, just instant summon it and have it up. Like there's no risk there as well. So that's why I don't want babies to be instant either.
There's just taking the baby instant summoning things. People like this is kind of like one of the rants on creatures I want to go on, which is the current system, like the new system of summoning, does not let you get to a team fight quicker. It takes you longer because you are spending more time summoning. The old system did not put invisible fucking walls around the creature, not letting you away from that creature. You can fuck off from that creature. There's nothing stopping you. You can walk to that fucking fight, like, and you'd get there quicker because you can leave quicker. Like, I don't get that argument at all. And it's pissing me off when I see it.
Like,
and also, it does not stop new players making mistakes. Like, oh, it's the fucking back point. Let's summon a bloomer here when no one goes there. Whichever system you have is not gonna make that a good decision. Like, all it does is help people like us who have been playing a while go, why the fuck is someone summoned a summer bloomer there? And why the fuck do I have to walk over there to go pick up the orb because it's not up yet? Like...
Yeah, I honestly get the feeling that these changes were actually made for us, so we don't have to complain about shit anymore. So they are not done for new players. They're like completely done for the people that already play Gigantic and already like have the knowledge to be able to complain about shit, which is after 2 games or something.
And like people like Baz have been bringing up amazing points about fucking adult creatures insta summoning. Like, oh, there's a team fight going on and they're pushing into our point. BRB summoning a Storm Drake. Yeah. Like, it's fucking horrible.
But the thing is, like, even if these changes are made to make the game less complicated for new players, like, let people fucking learn. Like, I think honestly the way it works is when new people get placed into matches where they're completely outclassed by people on the other team. Like, matchmaking is just completely off, and they just get ripped apart basically. And
I honestly feel one of the main reasons that new players and people who have been playing for a little bit but still haven't learnt the game are struggling is because Motiga keep doing these fucking changes and not giving us all the fucking info.
Nope. Still no information. Still very limited communication going on. Communication like between players, like no jack chat and shit that makes it easy to explain stuff. Without having like this half-assed voice chat system, which no one really wants to use because it's a pain. But new players do not have the tools to teach themselves anything. So
like,
if you remove the summoning times, even if you dumb the game down to like the basic level, they're still gonna make dumb mistakes that people are gonna complain about. Like, what are you gonna remove those systems as well? Like, look at League of Legends. Like the game at base is so simple. Like, you run and you push a wave, and you kill the towers, and you kill the base. It's so simple, but it doesn't stop people from running towards towers and killing themselves on it. Like, people will always do dumb shit that you cannot think of normally without just not understanding the game. So I don't think this is a worrying trend, so to say. If they like keep focusing on removing systems like this and removing anything complex, like systems being convoluted is another thing, because systems can be complex and be convoluted, and that's bad. But systems can be complex in like a really good way, which requires people to learn and spend time on it and get better and grow over time, which lies at the core of these kind of games, Because League of Legends wouldn't be here if it wasn't like a really deep, complex game that you could spend thousands of hours on it, not be and still not have learned everything. But Gaiex is not shaping up to be a game like that, because
it's like the one thing I want from fucking Motiga at the moment is what fucking game are they making right now? Like, are they legit wanting to make gigantic fucking Overwatch .3? Like, it's because that's where we're heading. Let's be fucking honest. At this point, you might as well remove stamina. You might as well remove creatures. Just have fucking control points. I remember someone saying, like, have a little heal buff around the control points and just fucking team deathmatch until the time's up. Like, it's getting fucking stupid. This is not the game it was. Like...
So, I touched on the things, the reasons why this summoning change is bad. Like, I honestly think we're preaching to the choir at this point, especially with this podcast. Like, everyone that's here is probably agreeing with me or, like, with us, and have at least some sense of why these are not good changes, or at least have some view of what the changes are and what the consequences of them are, not necessarily saying, like, these are awful or bad changes, but... like obviously it comes down to what the new people think. I guess, because even if
at the moment, that's what the game is. It's for new people. It's not for people who want to play for long periods of time. It's for people who want to play for an hour or two and then fuck off to somewhere else. Like,
and I think that's part of what's making me so pissed about this change, is because it's taken so much interesting gameplay away. Like, I've spent quite a bit of time, like, figuring out what, like, you have as well, and, like, some of the other competitive players as well. I've spent hours and, like, hundreds of hours on figuring this game out in different ways, and this just takes all that effort away, and it's just not going to be interesting to look at anymore. And yeah, I just got bored after a bit. It's just it's just fighting over and over. I mean, it's still the same game. Like, it has still the same mechanics, so the combat is still fun.
Combat's fine.
So combat is still fun. The gameplay is still fine for, like, a couple of games at a time. But are we just gonna need to switch our mentality of, like, this is just a fucking casual game that you play with your friends when you're fucking pissed? So I don't even know. Like, is that what we have to do, and, like, just change our view of it entirely? I'm at a loss.
Yeah, I don't like. There's, like, obviously, like, it's really hard to really say, like, I honestly feel just reverting to the old creature system should just happen, because if you're going to remove the, like, let's be honest, like, creatures were about 60% plus of the, like, the actual tactical, like, stuff in the game. Like, you remove creatures, the game is a deathmatch.
Yeah.
Like,
I think this change probably cut out about, like, 40 to 50% of, like, the decision making involved. Like, the other 50% is orbs, probably. And that's about it. And
it's like I've seen people say the instant adults. Like, I've seen a lot of people bring it into, oh, it's bad because of fights and shit. Like, one point I just want to bring up is, like, adults like, in the old system took about 30 seconds to a minute to summon. That gives you 30 seconds to a minute as the other team to do something. Do you take the fight? Do you go kill something else? Do you go gain control? Like, do you go upgrade yourself? Like, that's a tactic that you need to be able to pick up. Right now, you have 6 seconds from when the person starts summoning to either do something or do nothing. Which 6 seconds is not enough. You can't react to it. Like, at most, you can, if you're in a good position, which is very rare with how the map layouts are, you can maybe interrupt it briefly. That's it. That's the best you can do now.
Yeah,
like, unless you can interrupt it 5 times in a row, you're not gonna get the same amount of time as you used to.
Nope. No, you can't even tell if someone is upgrading. Like that's so bad. But even if you could tell someone is upgrading, like 6 seconds is not enough time to like make a reasonable decision.
Also,
Unless you're already in that position, right?
yeah.
So
like, also to the argument of well, if we could just do damage to interrupt, yes, that would negate some of the issue. It's still not going to get rid of the issue, honestly, because it's 6 seconds. Someone like a fat character just has to stand in front of that person. Oh, okay, that's fine. And like most, I'm gonna say it, like most people I feel who keep say that if you can damage are generally people who play melee or like have like Ashley or has like easy ways to kind of get in. From a ranged or a support point of view, there's nothing we can do. If we see it, like, it's kind of awkward to kind of just shoot, unless we have good sight lines, which I'm trying to think of points that you have a good sight line constantly at the point, which there isn't many. Maybe you can argue Siren Strand D, but it's like they can still stand in positions where you can't really get a good sight line without ridiculously overextending.
Yeah.
And if you're overextending, oh yay, I interrupt them upgrading. Oh, I'm dead. I gave them however much power it is.
Yeah.
Like,
now you're dead. You gave them like you gave them 10 power, and they're just gonna take 6 more seconds to upgrade it. Like it's there's no opportunity cost involved in it. Like you don't give up anything.
It benefits like Ashen players and assassins. That's it. Like. Yeah. Still doesn't fix the issue. At least if the old summoning, we see it happen as soon as it's done. Like, fine, the old system, we don't see them actually doing the summoning. Like, but as soon as they finish that thing, they have a timer of how long it goes up. We can now do something. You could be on the other side of the map, you see it happen, you could do something. Like, it's not like, oh, we did it for free. Yay.
But alright, the thing they did to compensate for the instant summoning changes is reducing health. So I've seen a lot of discussion among the more veteran players that it's just not worth it to summon adults anymore, like real creatures. It may get a little memey, I guess, just get a little extreme on some sorts. But I think the discussion is interesting. Like I've personally not played enough with the current changes to make that call. Really, like it's not gonna be worth it to change the creatures.
Like, spoiler, the creature power values change. Babies are 10 less power than adults right now. So I can definitely see the argument. My counterpoint would be Storm Drakes and Ice Yetis. And even Mountain Cyclops. Like, in a closed space, a Mountain Cyclops, like, the CC it provides is fucking insane. But, like, definitely on points that don't matter. Like, your very back point, why should you upgrade it?
Yeah, because like, it's just gonna get taken out easily.
It can pick up an orb quicker. That's fine. It never needs to pick up the orb anyway, like, in a serious time anyway. So...
Because that's another consequence of people fighting all the time, right? It almost never gets to, like, a point where orbs actually matter to pick up to get the rampages. Like, unless it turns out into a huge stalemate, which I can see happening at like higher levels of play, where people are really just trying to make picks and play super safe and not die. But in like pub games, I don't see it happening. That
actually,
orbs are
I'll counter my own argument about the back point. Sanctum is legit the only creature where upgrading it, the orbs actually make a difference, because with the one less point, it makes the orb spawning pretty retarded. Let's set up a scenario where both teams play a stalemate game, nothing really happens, one team owns the 2 central points are owned, one for each team. That means the A point is the very last orb. Who's gonna go back there and interrupt that orb? So it comes down to who has it upgraded, like...
Oh, that's actually an interesting point that I have not thought about. I think...
Whereas in the previous patch, the last orb, if nothing happened, if both teams had 1 point in the center, would be C point, right near the front, where you could legit take a fight there.
Yeah. Huh. That's an interesting point. Well, yeah, certainly. Like, no one's gonna run all the way back to like fucking steal that thing. Like, why
No,
would you do that?
when I get passionate, I look somewhere random. Don't worry, it's just me.
But yeah, so I think that's instant summoning somewhat. I'm really curious to see like all this community outrage and like outrage. It's probably a little strong word, but people have really strong opinions about this topic either way. So I'm really curious to see if Motica is gonna react to it at all.
I just feel the negatives of like what it's done to like the competitive side of like tactics and stuff is just ridiculously heavy compared to the very small amount of benefits it's giving to new players. Like, that's why I feel the overall point is, yes, it does come with these advantages for new players. It's simple, it's easy, you don't have to worry. It's just you're pretty much saying fuck you to the whole like tactical side of the game.
Yeah, and we're not even talking about like the highest level of players here.
No,
We're talking about anyone that goes past novice level and like notices, hey, this game's nothing but fucking fighting.
we're basically talking about anyone who's played the game for longer than 2.5 hours. Like,
Well, maybe a little more than that, but as soon as you start, as you're like past understanding the characters and like what they do and shit, I think you start to realize it's nothing much at the moment, real fast. And you can say that we're biased, which is kind of true. It is true, and it's hard to see things from the perspective of a new player, but I don't see like the short-term benefits of getting like a huge new player base and then losing them in like a month time because they'd lost interest. I don't see the benefits of that, which is kind of what they're looking at. And with Motica's current patch cycle, no way that they're like on point of this changes this large each month. No fucking way. Like I if they want to revert this, or like change it in some major way to accommodate other things, it's gonna be like the season level change, right? It's gonna be the once a year or maybe twice a year level change, which is very, very, very painful. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna endure that, or if I'm gonna take that out. So at this point, I'm very curious to see like how this change develops at all. If if Motiga takes any of his comments seriously.
Like, I feel if Motiga honestly wants to keep this system, they have to increase how long it takes to summon an adult, and they have to make it obvious on the minimap.
Yeah,
that's happening.
Yeah, I could live with like the instant babies and the upgraded adults. I could absolutely live with that. I think that would be the best of both worlds, like most people have said. I would still I still prefer like the old system, but if this really has to go in, then I think this is probably a decent change to make and would probably not harm the game as much. But I think the adults just need to go. I just don't think it's gonna work with adults. The instant summoning.
Like the thing with like bringing back the like half and half where babies are instant adults of the old system, I feel it goes against some of Motiga's stance. Like, if you look at some of the things they're doing with like stamina, they're making things more consistent. Like dodges, you have 4 dodges per character unless you upgrade. Like, they're making it consistent so it's easy to transfer between things. Going for 2 different systems for baby and adult contradicts that. So you've got that to think about as well with what Motiga's probably thinking about. Yeah,
like I honestly don't think like the homogenizing systems like that is a bad idea in general. If you do it on like in good ways.
Oh, on a side tangent about creatures, people who say that creatures die ridiculously quick, yeah, they die ridiculously quick now. They did last patch as well. If you actually concentrate and figured out how to fight a creature, you could kill it in 20 to 25 seconds. Like last patch, I could solo a Stormdrake without taking damage as Beckett. Like, it's not that hard. It would take me about, I think, 25 to 30 seconds. I could do it. Like, that's solo. Trip Beckett combo just cuts it down to like 15-10. Maybe not Stormdrake because Trip can't really go in all the time. She has to bait the range, the melee attack and then go in. But yeah, but the thing with the 30% adult creatures, I did a couple of tests offline, not offline, but on the practice arena. For a Summer Bloomer, it cut down my Beckett killing time by about 8 seconds, which is pretty decent. But that's without me using like my focus and stuff. So,
Really,
I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, you could say that sometimes adults were kind of hard last patch. They were kind of difficult, especially like Yetis and Cyclopses and Drakes and shit were like really difficult to like in fights. Basically, they were hard to control and hard to contain, so they were kind of a big deal. So,
also, can people stop being scared of Summer Bloomers, please? You can jump all their fucking attacks.
Yep.
Like, plus, it's not hard. Like,
I'm not gonna talk about killing creatures because that's I don't I just don't do that. No, like I'm traumatized by my own bad play. Basically, I just don't even have to walk in circle. Yeah, you can out-rotate
you can do either way you can do it. Like, it's just I see like people complain about creatures and that they're hard to kill when if you actually just spend a few minutes looking at how they attack, you could dodge everything.
Yeah, so one of the more obscure changes about the creature instant summoning was that they don't have the burst attacks anymore, which is incredibly logical and super rational. It's like, yeah, you don't want an instant fucking 500 HP heal like a bloomer.
That was like,
that was one of my concerns. Like, I hope they remove this when they implement this. But holy shit!
Could you imagine? Teamfight happens. Guys, retreat to the bloomer. I'm upgrading it. We'll get a heal buff and we'll fight.
Yeah, just purely upgrade for that heal.
But hey, that adds more tactical play, surely. Isn't that better?
Most likely. Maybe they should fucking maybe if they make creatures this fleeting. All right, let me come up with like a radical idea here. Let's go. So you cut down creature HP by like another 10 to 20%. You give them the instant things back, and then, wait. Let's just cut creature HP by all of it. Just remove creatures. Yeah. Just remove creatures, turn them into like a set of upgrades that you can pick at the start of the game that you can summon on these points to make effects happen. That's basically what they are. Come on, they would probably have more depth in this. That was probably have more fucking strategical fucking possibilities than this. Because you can make like an endless list of these different power-ups or something. I don't fucking know. Alright.
It's so fucking true though.
Next topic. Alright, so now we're gonna go into more of the changes, because I kinda said that the instant summoning made Gigantic into more of a cage match. Just a cage fight. It was really contained, just outside of the points, skirmishing, trying to get a lead. But the thing that really makes this happen are the stamina changes indirectly and the map changes more directly.
Yeah.
So let's go over the map changes first. Basically, they removed some summoning points. And
Sanctum lost a point on each side. Sirens got a reshuffle of locations. Actually, no. A point got moved forward, and the Guardian got moved back. They basically switched locations, but the point got moved to the side a bit. And Ghost Reef had a wall installed.
Yeah, this version also has had a wall installed as well, like at the back. So
No,
basically,
they blocked,
Canyon.
Okay, yeah, they blocked off all the Guardian.
The Guardian pits.
Nests. Pits, that's the word.
Mm-hmm.
Guardian nests. What the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah, let us buy Guardian Incarnate so we can fucking move, like, control the Guardian ourselves and fucking just insta win the game.
Oh god, no.
Let's go.
You get
We can do it.
Power, you get a button who takes control of the Guardian and every push.
Would probably
That's
be
how
more
you do it.
fun if you can actually control the Guardian yourself instead of it being artificial intelligence, but that's another topic for probably another time. But yeah. So the map changes, like, general, these map changes make the maps smaller. Like, the forward Guardian positioning is now permanent. So it's basically just the Guardian's always in the forward position, regardless of whether it's like the first wind or second wind or whatever. I guess that was somewhat convoluted and people didn't understand. I can see that.
Yeah, it's more consistent, I guess.
It's more consistent this way. I'm not really too bothered by it because they changed the locations a little bit, so they were like slightly less intrusive.
Yeah, it kind of helps with more aggressive play as well. Like Sanctum, you'd never really get the opportunity to go for the second wound just because of how far back it is. Same with Canyon. Canyon was like, you could do it. There was plenty of routes to get there in Canyon or Ghost Reef. Sorry, I don't know what I keep calling it. Canyon, for fuck's sake. But it being at the front makes the Guardian feel a bit more involved as well.
Yeah, I guess that's fine. Unless you get like one shot by Guardian attacks, which is a very fun experience. But in general, these changes make the maps just smaller, more contained, force people together way quicker, so we get more of this like constant fighting that we mentioned previously. Another thing that kind of ties into this, but is pretty much a separate change, is the stamina changes. Because, let me go into this, like, skills do not cost stamina anymore. Outside of combat, jumping and sprinting does not cost stamina anymore. I believe that's it.
Out of combat, yeah.
Out of combat, that's what I said, I believe.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't the other part.
But this just makes players way more mobile and get from point A to point B much faster, which like makes the maps smaller in general, like in relative terms, basically.
Like, there's been a few people saying that losing the Guardian pits have made the map smaller, which it has. Don't get me wrong. However, I feel only people who really went back there were assassin players because they're flanking or they're trying to hide or survive. Like, this will hinder Ardre a ton, but I feel it's not as bad. It's more the fact that you have stamina freely available more often now that you can get around, which is why it feels smaller.
Yeah. Absolutely. But in general, I don't think I've played enough games to really get a grasp on stamina yet.
Stamina it's a weird one.
I kind of have mixed feelings about it so far.
Just to people who say... Oh, look. Oh, it wouldn't be a podcast about this, would it? Is he actually gone? I can't actually see. Gaiex, come back! I need someone.
Huh?
Are you back?
It was not Mom this time.
No, it wasn't Mum. Oh.
It wasn't Mom this time.
Anyway, just to the like, I feel this. Yes, DPS players have stamina now to run away, but you as assassins, like assassins especially, you should in theory have stamina as well. The only reason you might not is if you've been dodging to do like your dodge attacks or jump attacks, which is fine. You'll be using some stamina for that. However, unless you're dodging 3 times in a fight, then that's kind of your management of stamina at that point. However, I feel like you should have full stamina going in, because as an assassin, you shouldn't be running in the side, like straight on towards a DPS while they're looking at you. If you are, you're going to be hit That's just the way your decision of coming in at us. I feel the characters that have been affected because of this is people like Margrave and Paco. You can maybe throw Narcissus, but I feel you could also throw Narcissus into the assassin side of you should be flanking more as a Narcissus to an extent.
Yeah.
Because obviously Margrave and Paco are more frontline, so therefore the whole point of them is to stand in the way. So I guess they will lose stamina more, so it gets a bit more awkward to come in. Obviously, though, they have their leap and their dashes to get in. Paco has a throw snowball. But I feel like, take Trip. Like, Trip can stealth and sprint through the whole of the stealth animation. And probably still have most of her stamina, if not all of it. So, yeah, I feel it's not a huge, real large benefit to DPSs that people are making. Yes, I can move around more, but take DPS versus DPS fights. A lot of people jump to dodge attacks, which is going to be using their stamina. So, yeah. I feel like the main culprits of DPSs that will ridiculously benefit with survivability are people like Voden and Amani, because they don't have to go anywhere anyway.
Yeah, so one of my strongest impressions of the new stamina changes was when I played HK. I fortified from pretty far away. People got on me. I unfortified, had all my stamina to run away. Yeah. That was quite fun. I was like, oh shit, I can actually do something without... So I didn't even have to pick fucking server boost anymore for that shit to happen. But... yeah, that was my only impression. Like, Amani's kind of the same because you can just sit in one place and not use your stamina for your shots, so you still have shit to get out.
I have other issues with Amani. Like, I think Amani is still viable and nice to run. I just find that HK can achieve that job and do more. Which is kind of like, why shouldn't I be playing HK instead? Especially when my team doesn't have a HK.
Yeah, but I'm having mixed feelings about the change. Like, I think with the shorter maps or like the smaller maps, maybe they should like increase damage or like increase or decrease health with this, because it's so easy for people to get away. Get away with shit. So it's incredibly frustrating to just like I'm not sure what the exact changes to loading times were or death timers, but I think they generally got shorter. I believe I'm not sure about the specific of that, but
respawn times are way too quick. It's like
so might as well
fight. We had a fight under fucking Guardian after the wound. We killed 4 of them in about I think 7 to 10 seconds. They were already up, and we were just like, well, we can't do anything. Like, by the time we reach center, they've reached center. It's like, what's the point?
So we can't do anything, and they're gonna fuck us in the ass because we're like running from the guard in a way, though. So, but it is really awkward. Like, why not increase the time to kill at this point? Because like you have super high mobility, you have really short death timers, so you need to die quicker. If they really want to go this direction, not like I want them to do that. I want them to revert. I'm like a fucking... Jesus, I forgot the word. Like, I want them to revert. I want them to go back a couple patches. But if they really want to go this way, they really need to decrease the time to kill and make it easier to kill people.
Yeah.
Like,
respawned.
Yeah.
So, it's out of nowhere and wasn't even mentioned. Like, it's like a few things. Like, I'll throw it in here while we're talking about changes that weren't really announced and stuff. Why is 100% shield fucking pointless at this point? Like, they literally before previous patch, if you managed to get 100 shield during the rampage, their Guardian would do nothing and no damage. It will just knock them down, so they have to do something. Oh, cool. That's rewarding the defensive team for what they achieved. And 100 shield now. The Guardian still does damage. I've had wounds taken when I've had 100 shield now. Like, it's... Why? You're just like, screw. It gives a higher shield, but it's not that huge. And it still takes like a bar of wounds. So it's like, well, why should I ever fucking push? Let's just chill back. We have advantage now. We have the map control. No reason. Let's just 100 shield everything till the fucking end of the game, guys. It's just like we were complaining about fucking passive fucking play, and they've just made it worse. The 100 shield was how you counter it. Now that doesn't even counter it properly.
But like previously, you had like you go aggressively for the 100 shield, right? You go on the aggressive, you go on the offensive to try and get a couple kills out, which are very exhilarating moments. Like it always gave a thrill when you got that 100 shield of a really pretty much stupid and aggressive play during the rampage, and prevented the wound from getting taken, or like at least prevented the auto wound. It's kind of good, but
it's like the point where if it's a like say an 80-90 split in power, and the team that gets the push, like has like less than one segment left, it's pointless to do anything because they've got that wound no matter what happens. Which is just like, you're not going to reward me for getting that power. Like, it's like yes, okay, fine. It's not 100% pointless, but it's kind of like you're you're pretty much going, oh, we used to reward you for getting shield. Now we're just gonna remove some of that for no reason. But it's not like they explained why they've done it. Like, give us a reason. This is why, like, it's like, they're giving us this preview, but not telling us what's in the fucking preview without, like, these minor changes and stuff. Like, Taito can't dodge cancel now. I'm semi-thankful for that. I still question why the fuck Zandora can do it. Like, I mean, that's a bit random as hell. I think Taito has kind of been a bit fucked in terms of how fluid his movement is now, as Taito the Swift.
Yeah, people are ranting about that. Like, I personally don't mind seeing Taito in the gutter, but
I don't mind it being a DPS player. I used to fucking hate Taito players, but like, I still think this has kind of gutted him a bit.
Yeah.
A bit awkwardly to make it not nice to play. Like,
yeah, it kind of sucks to see. Like, I was looking at Larson yesterday, and it kind of looked sad because it looked janky now, like really stuttery, and instead of so fluid as it was, it was really fun to watch. Like a super good title player that just fucking jump all over the place, but it was kind of nasty to deal with.
And it's not like let's take the look at last patch. I honestly feel Trip was better than Taito last patch. Yet Taito's the one who got punished. Like, yeah. It's still a bit. But then again, Trip could have been punished, and we just don't know about it. Like,
that is supposed to reach as well. Like, with fucking stealth nerves.
I'll be fully honest. I haven't looked at Trip. I haven't seen. Well, most of the Trip players I've seen, I feel, were new players, so I can't really tell the changes. So I don't know.
Yeah. So then the final big topic was the UI change. So outside of it burning your eyes out on the menu, what do you think of it?
I think, in general, I think the UI changes are good. Like, I think it's more consistent. Like, it's consistent throughout now. The main menus, as much as it's bright as fuck, it still looks nice.
Yeah, I agree.
It's all there. It took me about half a minute to realize that creature loadouts were under the play button now. I got a bit confused that it was there and not in like collections or something. So that took a little bit, and it's fine. In game, I think UI is fine. I like the toolbar at the bottom, like the skills. I'm loving the in and out of combat icon. To know when you're in and out of combat. That's really fucking nice.
That's cool.
I feel the HP and the stamina bar being down there, it's not the end of the world, but I'd still like the option to raise it up or to reverse it to the old style, just so it's a bit more in my field of view so I can see it. If they don't want to move the health bar, they could maybe do something like in other games. Like, I play Terra MMO-wise. They have, obviously, UI in Terra, you can pretty much put anything anywhere. But, like, I have my health bar kind of in the bottom corner. but they have the option to put like this blue bar above your head, which is your health bar. And it's not accurate. It has no numbers. It has no markers. It's just a blue bar. But once that goes down, if it starts getting low and you want to know how low it is, it's like, oh, I can now look at my health because I know I'm low. Oh, cool. Okay, that's how low I am. Okay, I can take another shot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just a reference point of roughly how low am I.
Yeah. Like, and you don't even... wouldn't even have numbers on the gigantic thing either, because we don't fucking have that.
like I agree with people who say like the new health is good because yes, we now have notches. Okay, they haven't told us anywhere how much those notches are. Just fortunately, why is there a spider on my fucking monitor? Okay, I'll deal with that later. Like, it's nice to have the notches. They don't really tell you that it's 500 health per notch, but. Actually, no, I'm going to have to deal with this now because it's about to climb onto my webcam.
oh, no, let it happen, dude. Let it happen. That's awesome.
No, I don't know where it's gone now. It's dropped down behind it.
No, but if everyone has like the same values for notches, then you can pretty much compare it.
You can figure it out. It'd be nice to have somewhere that the notch is 500, like just to tell people in game, or like give some information. Maybe in the tutorial. I didn't notice it in the tutorial, but it could have been like, oh, okay, that's how much that is. But yeah, it's good. It's clean. It's simple. We have fucking numbers on the fucking skill UI. Like,
a little bit.
I go to upgrade a skill. I go to the HK railgun upgrade. Oh, cool. Look, it's does 500 damage now. Awesome. It's told me that. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Like, it's those numbers. It's leading in the right direction. We've gone from no fucking numbers to some numbers. Hopefully, next patch will have a lot of numbers. And then the patch after that will have every number.
Yeah. it's a transition.
Process.
It's a process. But yeah, I would love to compare creatures or heroes' health by notches. So it's like, yeah, how much HP does Markov have? Yeah, he has like fucking 6 notches, you know, or like 5 notches and 3/4. That's like great. It's gonna be awesome. But yeah, I think we're almost done. We're getting close.
I guess like another hidden change. I know Roxereth and Massive Damage kind of pointed this out. Hero hitboxes seem slightly bigger than before.
Yeah.
It's much more easier to hit things. I don't know whether hitboxes have changed because obviously it's not been told, or whether the fact that the camera also feels like it's been pulled back a bit. Whether that's the reason why it feels bigger. That should make it smaller, but
it's all to make people be able to hit easier.
Yeah, it's a weird one, but it's just something we've noticed, and
like we're getting into conspiracy theory territory.
Pretty much.
Yeah, Motiga's trying to undermine everything we've done so far. Fuck.
I noticed when I was like testing like killing summer bloomers with Beckett. Beckett's crit damage on LMB machine guns seems slightly lower than previous batch, so I think that's also a change. But that's theory crafting and probably not true. But
yeah.
Oh, it's fucking hot.
Yeah, same. I'm fucking boiling as well. Let's see. Let's look through all the topic list. I think we've covered everything. So for a little bit, maybe
actually, Guardian damage. We haven't mentioned anything about Guardian damage.
Huh?
I assume you think it's an alright change, and it's probably good that it's changed.
Guardian damage in what sense? I'm not really sure what this is about.
They do something now. If you dive under a Guardian, the Guardian's actually gonna help you.
Oh yeah, shit. Yeah, I remember. I got like fucking one-shot by something I couldn't dodge.
Yeah, like I still think some of the indicators for like the major like stomp attack and stuff, like there's some indicator issues you don't know is happening. However, I feel in general, like the breath attack on Gren, like it does a reasonable amount of damage the longer you've been in there, but I feel going in briefly for like a couple of seconds just to do a couple of hits on a DPS and getting out, you'll lose about half your health, but I think that's fine because you're diving their fucking Guardian. So I'm
not really sure about that. Like, again, I'm on the side of the people that are saying that AI damage on the Guardian that cannot really played around is bad. Like I think the comparison from a Guardian to like a Nexus Tower in League of Legends is very unfair to make, because a Nexus Tower is at the very back of the game, and it will pretty much be only in like doing anything at the very end of the game, or like when people are trying to finish the game.
I think the reason why I kind of like it is it gives teams that are struggling and can't gain control somewhere where they can actually go and do something.
I'm not necessarily against that, but I think the way even the Guardians are still up quite far, so it's really easy to get.
I disagree with that. I think on like the only map where it's far forward that is probably going to influence a normal team fight is on Ghost Reef. I think, let's be honest, Siren's new Guardian location is fucking in the back of everything. Like, it might as well be back in its old Guardian spot. Like, I like the change. I think its old forward position would have been fucking even worse.
Yes, old forward position would be ass, but I think that position's alright.
Like, and Sanctum is up on that cliff where, like, if you go close, you can kind of hide under the bridge and next to the stairs, and you don't get hit. And it's not close enough for the melee attack, so you can kind of fight around there. And like, again, like, if you're going that deep, like, you're passing what their forward point at that point.
Yeah, but like, honestly, I don't go that far often, and I've not played that many games, so I've not seen it that much. So if you say you like it,
it's a change that affects assassins and potentially tanks that want to decide to fight under the Guardian. That's what it's affecting. Obviously, it doesn't affect range. Like, from a ranged point of view, I love it because I have somewhere where I can fucking stand. I think on Ghost Reef is a little bit too strong with the Guardian position because I can get good, reasonable sight lines from there, especially from window. But again, that wall they've implemented kind of blocks some of the sight lines.
Alright. Let's see. Do you have anything else you wanna touch on before we wrap up? Anything that stands out or that we have
can't
not
think of anything.
Yeah,
I don't really want to comment on like certain bugs and situations that don't seem like its thing because it's an ARC preview. It's probably not completely finished.
Yeah, let's do the QA section that we've proved. I fucking promised the QA section, so we're gonna do it now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm putting my foot down. So, Mythic, what do you guys think Mortiga should focus on in the future? So, I honestly think that let's take the standpoint that this change is gonna happen. This change is gonna stay for a bit. So, how can it be made better, or how can it be made workable?
If we're gonna have to keep the changes as they are and stuff, I feel adult summoning needs to take slightly longer. You can't make it too long because then it'll be too easy to interrupt. But it needs to be increased a bit longer, maybe like 10 seconds, maybe. 10 seconds, maybe 11, and then there needs to be some sort of indicator on the minimap that it's happening so you have a chance to react to it. It's not gonna fix the issue like a tiny bit, but it at least be better than it currently is. Obviously, in terms of communication, give us text chat and push to talk.
Yeah, just make the game feature complete, like the essentials. I think is one of the first things you should do. Let's see. I think other things like exploring opportunities to like create other objectives, other things to do.
If you're gonna make the base current of like stuff we have simpler like this, you need to add something else for the like not something else as in like a new game mode. Like I mean like give us like a Drake or a Baron to fight over, or like give us something else to do to fight over so that we have some sort of objective play. Because then it means if someone's going for that, you can at least go, well, fine, they're going and doing this objective. We can now either go and fight them, or do a creature, kill a creature, and gain map control.
Yep.
Like,
exactly. So I think making it feature complete. So to summarize, exploring other options, fucking changing around the instant summoning so it's not painful. Yeah, I think that's what they should be doing right now. Which hero benefits the most from the changes? I think it's really hard for me to call right now because I have not really played that much.
If I was to call out specific heroes, Trip, Imani, Virgin, HK would be the 4 that kind of come straight to mind.
Probably, like, I've not played a game of Griselma outside of a bot game yet, so I think, honestly, creature or heroes that are very reliant on their stamina to like get away should probably benefit from this. I think Griselma would. Griselma would like benefit from this, I guess, because if you are constantly beaming or slapping people, you're losing. Mostly beam build Griselma because you're losing stamina for you were losing stamina for that. And I play mostly beam build, so I think it would be easier to get away without your E and like be able to do anything. So I think a lot of heroes benefit from the changes, like in general.
Yeah,
of course, no one is really left. Like everyone benefits, but
like it's hard. Like if you flip the question on its head, who doesn't benefit? I can't really think of anyone that doesn't benefit from it. Like Taito doesn't benefit from the changes made to him specifically with the dodge cancelling. That's something for him. It's not like all the other changes. So I still think he benefits from his attacks not using stamina. Like the dodge, okay, fine. Dodges. He probably. I can't remember if Taito has acrobatics or not. I know Trip does. But I think he has skirmishing available for him though. So they at least have that to kind of help with the stamina stuff and get out of combat. But it's like and I haven't really. I guess I will admit I haven't really seen many Margrave and Paco players really talk. Even Gnosis. I've seen a few Gnosises, but I haven't really spoken to them, so I don't know how Gnosis feels.
Yeah, so I think my general, if I would say which heroes benefit the most from it, is low mobility heroes.
Yeah.
Like heroes that have low mobility options in their kit, or like slow, or are just slow in general. I think that would be my call. I think Motiga is stalling Gigantic's life in order to profit from Disney's Gigantic movie giving them hits.
Oh dear.
I just fucking go for the cash grab, I guess.
I have no comment to that.
No comment. That seems correct and a very reasonable assumption. Have you guys died to a bot in a bot game? Yes. Next question.
I can't remember if I died in that game or not. Like,
it's like that's even when they're like, what the bots do is like they tunnel vision so fucking hard. So if you aggro like 4 bots, then you're gonna die. Like if you're gonna stay there, you're gonna be like, oh shit, I can take them because they're bots, but you're gonna die somehow. Yeah. The bots don't give up once they aggro you. No, that's it. You're fucking
like,
you're dead. Unless you kill them. Let's see. What's the rest? I just feel like Motiga does a well enough job of listening to their community and let's say the competitive players. It's really hard to say because currently they're going off the general public. This is a bit of a meme.
It's kind of hard to say because like
there's
this patch, like in all these changes, like from the point of view of like I'm just gonna ignore that core exists at the moment, but like it's just out of nowhere. Like people no, I don't think anyone's really suggested in the public on Reddit. I don't really read the ARC forums, so I don't know if it came up there, but I've never seen anyone go, do you know what would be a good idea? Instant summoning creatures.
Or like summoning creatures is too complicated. Like
so I'm pretty sure the stamina changes probably would have come up in a Reddit post at some point.
I think the stamina changes are justifiable as well.
Yeah.
I think they're okay.
Yeah.
I don't
I
really
think
have
it
much
just
issue with
makes the stamina changes, like, if overall I feel it just makes it easier to understand how the stamina system works, which helps the new players, and it doesn't hinder the old veterans too much. Like, yeah, you lose the stamina management skill. Like, there's still a bit of stamina management there, but it's not to the level extent it was last patch.
Yeah. Absolutely. Let's see. Kind of lost it there. But in general, so I don't think these changes came from the community. I think maybe they have some statistics that kind of prove, like, as I said, maybe they have stats that like show that people just never return after their first game, or just leave and never return. Maybe it's their interpretation of things, like these things must be convoluted. Maybe they get this from like internal tests. Like with perfect world people, maybe it's like all a corporate scheme.
Maybe
in terms to cash out. Like, I don't fucking know. It's all a possibility.
We don't have the info, so
Nope.
it's hard to really properly speculate.
Yeah. Do you think we should use reverse psychology to say what we want, what we don't want, to get what we want, which they don't want? That's really hard to read. Maybe we should. Maybe that's the better. It's a better thing.
Well, I want to keep this instant summoning. Like, it's amazing.
Yes, Motiga, it's amazing. Please keep it.
Before someone clips that and sends it to Motiga.
Yeah, now you've made it happen, Raki. You know you made it happen. Yeah.
Raki and the Massive Damage podcast is the reason why this has happened.
Yeah. You're to blame now. It's on you.
Hey, it might get me stream viewers.
Yeah. Let's go. Follow Raki's Twitch channel. But let's see. Anything else? When did you get a perfect stage in your opinion? In what year with your experience with Motiga? Oh god. A perfect stage is obviously not possible. So let's get that out of the way. But the way this is going, it's gonna take at least another year to make it to give them the chance to make more fucking game-defining changes.
I don't think there'll be a year where it'll be a perfect stage. There'll be a week where it's a perfect stage, and then they'll do something the next week and fuck it up. It's
I mean it's gonna take a year. I mean it's gonna take a year.
I think it's gonna take 3 years, honestly.
Right.
If it's not died at that point, like.
Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see. Like, launch is coming up somewhere soon-ish, I guess. So
announce it, Motiga, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, don't do a fucking 24-hour announcement before it's released, please, for the love of God.
That's gonna be one disappointing cherry on an already disappointing cake. But yeah, gigantic 2020. Let's go. They said by end of month. Yeah, on art gallery. I mean, at least, right? But
Yeah.
I think that was it. So why don't you go shout out your stuff?
So I'm Rakychu on Twitch, and I'm Rakychi on Twitter because someone stole Rakychu. Yay! Yeah, that's me. I don't I streamed yesterday, but don't expect many streams until the game's released. So follow me for when it comes out, and yeah, follow me on Twitter more for when I stream and shit.
Strafe already made the clip.
Oh
Thanks
my god,
for that. That was pretty
Why?
fun. Right. Good shit. So I guess we'll show that. Oh shit. That was my desktop. I flashed it. But I can be found right here on this channel at twitter.com/Gaiex, at twitch.tv/Gaiex. Also follow the Massive Damage Twitter, which has been slightly inactive because 1, a dead competitive scene, and 2, a dead podcast for a bit. So I don't think we can make any promises on when the next episode is gonna be.
Oh no, let's make a promise. We'll do a podcast in 2 weeks.
All right.
because in 2 weeks it'll be the 2nd of next month.
Yeah, so
Like,
by then,
as Pwn City said, like they did say by the end of the month, there should be some sort of launch.
yeah,
So
there should be some big event by then.
we hope.
Yeah, so you can find the Massive Damage Twitter at Massive Damage GG on Twitter. And I think
we have a website, but we haven't really done anything with it.
because A, a dead competitive scene, and B, a dead podcast, and just being lazy.
Pretty much.
I was watching one of the podcast's VODs, and you were talking about an article, posting an article
a week.
and it was like fucking January or something. Oh
like
my
we released the tier guide and that was it. Like,
Yeah. Tier guide was good though. I was proud of that
Yeah.
piece. Alright. So thanks for being here, guys. Thanks for listening to us rant to about an hour and 20 minutes, I guess, 25 minutes. So decent episode. I'm happy. I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Play some more of that knockoff gigantic game. I say.
the perfect world edition.
Yeah, the perfect world version. Until it's gone, I guess.
And good luck to everyone who tries to go back to the old patch after Monday or after tonight.
Yeah, that's gonna be wacky. Weird shit. Alright guys. See you next time. We'll announce it at least, and bye bye.
Bye.